make it. Tuesday Night Live. Welcome, dudes. Number 7. I think we're on the last week of February now, so outstanding. I'm in a new studio space. Trying to get a little smaller, a little quieter, trying to find the right lighting, so got my little hat collection up there, but anyway, welcome. Hope you dudes had a good week, busy week. We got a lot to recap, so we're gonna get right into it. Here we go. Last week we talked about some super basic things, and I got a lot of good feedback. Some within the video itself, some post video. So thank you for that. And yes, we do have to start on a solid foundation. Some of us have in our lives already done that in specific things. A lot of us in the health world have not. So at this age and wisdom level that we all are, we know that if we don't build something on a firm, strong foundation, what's going to happen? It's going to topple. So some of this stuff I'm going to reiterate, not over and over, but I'm going to reiterate, because as all of us being professionals in whatever it is, that we do individually, right? We have to apply that same mastery of skill to our health. That's our new priority when you're over 40, 45, 50 for sure. So this isn't just, I don't want to be a talking head, but it's kind of like God's helping me do this, and I can't stop. So anyway, back to what we're talking about is that if we can't do the little things, right, we can't do the big things. Me, perfect example, not going to be a hypocrite by any means, but I did a lot of stuff and I tried to do it too fast. I knew what I wanted. I knew how to get there. And I could even do it fast forward, but by the time I got to where I was doing what I needed to do, everything would come caving in. So, Dude Reset is about building that solid foundation, resetting, hitting that hard reset and going, okay, what now? Because what you've been doing didn't work. And then for the positive reinforcement that I got for the guys that kind of have been doing this, there's the guys doing the 75 hard. There's the guys, and that's legit. Like, that's a legit program. And so for the guys that are doing it, you guys already know. You've been to the gym. You've been pounding the pavement or pedaling or swimming or whatever it is, right? And so you get to adjust and you get to adapt where what we're trying to do. And I think even the guys in here that are doing something at random at best, they still want to motivate the ones that haven't yet because they see the benefit. And if you understand or have read anything, Stephen Covey always says begin with the end in mind. And so those goes back to our goal talk, setting realistic goals, but also setting big enough goals. And so that just reiterates kind of what we were talking about last week. So we're gonna come back to some of the basics, and then we'll move forward. Then we'll come back, and then we'll move forward. And so we saw in the group here I posted, I got my personal training certificate, and that was the personal training certificate. It's the same knowledge, same everything. That is an open book test. There is a non-proctored test. I'm going to take that. Boy, that's a lot when you sit down and take it in a test mode. So, but regardless, I got it. I'm plugged in. I'm a professional. And so I'm going to start talking about some of that stuff. But what I would like to do, and I'm going to do something more later, but I'm going to bring Jared Stice on in just 1 second. But what I want to do is I want to invite anybody that sees this. I'm not going to promote it. I don't want anybody else to promote it. But if you see this, reach out and let's start this personal training journey. Because it's more than going in a gym with a clipboard and saying, okay, do this 5 times. That's not it. So the scope of practice of what a personal trainer really does is fits me perfectly. So I would like a guy, a dude in the group or two to reach out that you really want to improve, right? because if you really want to improve, you're going to do the things. If you think it'd be cool or whatever, right? I'm probably not your guy, at least not right now. But the personal trainer thing is, whew, wow, that was a lot, and it was for quite a while. And you know, in the scheme of things in the world we live in, you know, and I made my wife telling her, I was like, I'm trying to shake it like it's done. Like I do CPR and first aid and then the whole course and then the test and all the things, and it's just like, that's done, cool. Oh, so what's next? I'll tell you what's next, because you know I don't ever stop. Guess what I did? Finally, today, I finally went to the local bike shop and I ordered myself a bicycle. So my fitness level is we're going to learn some more. I've never been a long distance bicycler, gravel bicycler, rode on a highway. I don't even think I've ever really wore a helmet on a bicycle. So I'm going to learn this stuff and I'm going to get in some crazy good shape. So there's a lot going on right there. I'm going to bring Jared on and we're going to elaborate, but I want you guys to start thinking about. And I'm as guilty or hypocritical of myself, because as much as I motivate and say within the group and even to myself, I'll still go smash brownies or cookies or, you know, whatever it is. And it's like, I got to quit doing that. Like I physically have to quit doing that. By this time of night, every night, it doesn't matter if I've eaten like a rabbit, you know, eat the salads, which hadn't really happened, or if I eat a bunch, I'm bloated and I don't feel bad. I'm just really bloated. So I'm doing some things in my gut and trying to get that healed. So it's definitely throwing me for a loop and definitely testing my discipline with trying to be healthy with food and all the things. So we covered a lot in the intro, Mr. Jared. How are you this evening, sir?
Doing well, Sam. Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was quite the ordeal and quite the knowledge undertaking that I was not prepared for.
Yeah, I probably heard a lot about it along the way, and I know it was a challenge to you. I'm glad you got it knocked out. Something you've been talking about for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been more than a thought for quite a while, but we're going to go back to the reality. My reality is I wanted to be a healthy person, and um, I was as healthy as I could be, but my reality is that alcohol had control over me. Period. And I don't care. I'll say it like I don't. It doesn't affect me to say it now. And so it was very limiting on what I would commit myself to. And so you personally know that in the last, now we're on 3 years. Yeah, we're on 3 years now. Like I don't keep a lot of track of stuff, but if I did, I'd have a lot of W's going right now. You know what I mean? A lot of good things happening for me. So
Sure.
uh, I think it's pretty neat. But um, yeah, so just like today, like ordering this bicycle, you know, and it's
Tell me
like,
about tell me about the bicycle. What'd you get? Where'd you get it from? Are you excited?
yeah, I'm stoked, man. And I've been like hell bent just recently. I had to do some financial adjustments to get right, but I got right. And I was in Tulsa last week, but the bike shops were closed on Monday, and I was in Stillwater the week before that, and didn't make myself go downtown on purpose. And so I did a lot of internet searching, and it, oddly enough, took me to Pittsburgh, Kansas. They were a dealer of a certain brand, and I went in there and told the guy, I said, I'm not smart at this. I've never done this. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've done enough internet research that I know now I'm ready to talk to you as a bike pro. And he's like, cool. So I told him what I was wanting, what kind of bike I was after. He's like, let's talk about this for a second. And I was like, perfect, because I'm really here to gain knowledge as much as
Sure.
anything.
Sure.
And you and I have talked about how do we gain knowledge. You go talk to an expert. You go talk to an expert, say, hi, expert, I'm dummy. I need to learn.
Yeah.
Is it going to cost me? Do I need to buy something? Do I need to pay for your time? But I'm here to learn. And I did. And so basically he turned me on my top, completely spun me upside down. And I walked out with my tail in my whatever that phrase is. And I was like, I'm just going to go to Joplin. Sure, they got somebody knows what the hell they're talking about, you know, because that's what the ego does, right? And
Sure.
so I jumped on Google Maps and nothing was open. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to lunch and because he gave me some bikes to look at because what I picked was great bike, just not what I needed.
And so, uh, anyway, I checked out the bikes and did my research, and I was like, all right, cool. So I went back and I ordered what I went with. What I thought I was going to want was a carbon frame and carbon fork bike. I wanted steel frame and steel fork. And I never ridden a steel bike. And I had that question in my head, and I get headaches really easy. So gravel and just vibration, I thought the carbon would not absorb it, but more deflect it. That's not the case. Carbon's just light and it's fast. That's it. It absorbs some things and whatever. But I
Yeah.
rode a carbon bike, aluminum bike, and steel frame bike. And the steel frame bike feels like you're driving a 76 Cadillac down Pacific Coast Highway and it's 82 degrees outside. I'm talking about smooth, you know?
Yeah.
And so anyway, the bike is a Kona brand, and Kona is still a
Yeah.
small independent company, so to speak, but they're on the big bright level. But yeah, they're one of the old OG originators, Pacific Northwest, stainless steel bike. It's looks like what you and I would call old 10 speed, you know, just it's got drop bars and but yeah. So anyway, I got a couple of little necessities, a couple bags and water bottle holders, and I'm gonna go figure out how to do this thing.
Nice. So you walked out with it?
No, I had to order it.
Order it. Okay. And
Yeah.
where did you order it from? Were you at Tailwind in Pittsburgh to start?
So that closed, and now it's called Southwind Cycles and Outdoor, and it's downtown, like on right next to Fifth Street, I think, or not Fifth Street, 505.
Sure. And
Yeah,
where did you order it from?
that place. Oh, the brand is Kona, but yeah, Kona.
But you
Kona
did go back
bikes.
to that place when you didn't get it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I went back. I went and checked the stuff out, and I was like, that's what I'm here for. It's what I came
Yeah.
to town for today. I didn't come here to eat shitty freaking Korean food or whatever the fuck it was. Like, you know. And so I went back and I said, all right, man. So here's the deal. Like, I appreciate you wholeheartedly, and I did. I thanked him for his knowledge and his time and all that stuff. I wasn't bitter
Sure.
at all. He was doing his job. You're a salesman. I've been a salesman. You got to probe and you got to ask. And before somebody drops serious coin on something, you want to make sure they know, that it's their choice and not just some flashy ad, right?
Yeah.
And essentially that's where I was at. But anyway, yeah. So went back and ordered and got all the little doodads, and so it'd be like a week and a half. But
Good.
just how and what I look for and what I want to do with it. Like I think it's going to be it's a good shot. And I'll be able to thrash.
Do you know how big of tires you got? You didn't go with a fat tire bike or skinny, or what's that look like? Road bike? Do you know?
It's a gravel bike tire. I think it's a
Okay.
650.
Okay. So you got, yeah, probably so. I don't know enough either, but I was going to ask
Yeah.
you what the brand was. Thanks for telling me. I bought a Diamondback, and so local guys here, Free State Cycle. We know Bobby's down there in Stillwater. They can holler at him, and then also Wichita's got a couple places. But I went in the same way. Like I was more budget restricted, and I was like, "What can I get for X amount of dollars when I'm shopping Facebook Marketplace for new?" And I walked out with a Diamondback, and I mean, I was $450 new, and it wasn't exactly what I needed at all. And now I know that, but it's same as you. I had no idea what I wanted. He's like, "What kind of riding are you going to do?" I was like, "Chasing kids and jumping curbs. That's it." Except that I wanted something light, and I have been happy with it. I changed my tires and upgraded them, and again, I came back and. Now I get flats all the time, and they're like, "Yeah, that's normal." Like that's not normal, but I guess you
I
just
got
get.
tubeless, so I'm protected against flats. They actually self-seal.
I believe you until you
No,
get a
yeah.
flat.
No,
Like,
he said it. He's like, I didn't ride
yeah.
tubeless until I started working here. He goes, I rode over something, you hear the and it seals it up and it gets quieter, then you jump off, hand pump it and keep going.
Good. Yeah, nice, man. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. So hopefully that I can open that door back up to like triathlons and things like that. That next level fitness is wholeheartedly what it is. And the other thing is I really truly enjoyed riding motorcycles because you could go get lost for so long and it was such a clearing thing. And so my reaction time is why I don't ride anymore, essentially. Um, I just don't trust myself, and that's not a cool place to be. So I'm really kind of hoping this bicycle thing takes it to the next level as far as kind of my personal space, so to speak. So there again, we'll learn together, and if there's bicycle riders out there, hit us up. Let's know. Let's tell us what you know. But I'm going to get into it, and I'm gonna shift because now we're getting into spring, and we haven't talked about it this year yet at all. But the Murph Challenge is coming up. And for all you newcomers, the Murph Challenge is run a mile, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then you go run another mile, and you do it with a 20-pound weighted vest. And it's to honor Lieutenant Michael Murphy from the United States Navy SEALs. He was a lone survivor dude in the movie and the whole bit. That was one of his just little quick workouts, like, oh, I'm gonna do this right quick and then go be a Navy SEAL. Whereas like guys like us, when we do it, it's like an all-day affair, and you got to prep and recover and the whole bit. So we've been pretty active in that these last couple of years. So I'm going to shift my workout to that, and then bicycling, obviously, and then I'm going to switch to the 6 core exercises every man should do. So you're going to see some, essentially some big shifts for me. If my phone would ever work, the cameras, you might see some more, but I'm restricted to the selfie camera. And so I can't take pictures or videos of stuff. But anyway, baby steps. But I'm going to try to do some more old man stuff. I got to talk to a couple of dudes today, and it seems like some of us are fighting tennis elbow. And that's a huge, big thing. I talked to Shouse and Mr. Blake today, and that's what's got me on my quote unquote stabilization workout, is my elbows just lit. And so that's part of what I'm doing. I'm just going to try to keep getting as good a shape as possible, but what's that going to look like? Because I couldn't keep doing what I was doing, right? So that's part of what we do. It's part of what we need to understand as dudes in life and reality. And, things aren't always going to look the same. You're not always going to feel the same. You're not going to be able to perform the same. So shift, measure, adjust, right? That's your phrase. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to shift, measure, adjust. I'm right on my timeline. I said, winter solstice to spring solstice, I'm going to do this stabilization workout. Got my bike ordered. Right when I come out of that, I'm going right into the next one. So it's like I'm not missing a beat. So we go ahead. I like how you raise your hand like it's 3rd and a half grade.
It's good. I'm just letting you know, 3rd and a half.
I appreciate it.
I was just say welcome to all the guys watching. We were up to 5 there. They went away. They found something better to go scroll. You're talking about the race. I want to write down this Murph Challenge. Tell me one more time what that is. 1 mile run.
1 mile run.
Okay.
100 pull-ups.
Okay.
200 push-ups. 300 air squats. And then you go run another mile.
God, I wouldn't be able to run the mile, Sam. Speak it into affirmations, whatever. But yeah, let's train for that.
Let's do it this year.
When are we supposed to do it? Well, when are we
Memorial
supposed to do
Day.
it? Memorial Day, okay.
And if you want to do it the weekend after, because like late guys, they get busy. I'm totally for that.
I don't have enough money to go to the lake this year.
But anyway, Memorial Day. So we're gonna start seeing that on the page more. I hope more guys get into it. Kyle, he's done it. I always draw blanks when I try to go to my memory. But anyway, yeah, let's get on this Murph thing. For one, for respect. 2, it's America's birthday, right? We're going to be very patriotic and very fit this year. I'm totally unplugged from the world, right? And I still keep seeing this Make America Healthy stuff. So I'm really into it. That's what this is about. It's about getting healthy, about doing it the right way, about eating the right food, getting the right sleep. At our age, we need to be checking our blood levels. We need to be checking our hormones. So there's a lot happening. There's just a lot going on right now.
So May 25th is Memorial Day this year. So school will be out. Everybody's done. I know we're not going to do it necessarily that day as a joint effort, but I'm interested in finding something because that gives me time to train. The local YMCA has the new challenge, Y Rocks, like the letter Y, ROX. Have you seen this yet?
They do they do seasonal challenge things. They're cool.
So High Rocks is a big one that's popular. Now they've started Y Rocks, and it's next week. It's like 4 days from now. I just found out about it 2 days ago, and the lady's like, yeah, show up. You do great. It's like, I'm 43. I'm going to get hurt. I don't go to challenges, like a publicized challenge that had a 12-week training course. You want me to just show up Saturday? Do you know who I am? And she didn't believe me that I was 43. That's fine, but I'm not in good enough shape at all. I just look the part. That's it. So I'm going to try to do the Y Rocks. You were talking about the races, a triathlon and stuff, and I've looked at some of those. I want you to look at the adventure race. It's held in Kansas. I'm going to pull it back up and switch over here. So this would be a great topic for somebody to come in and talk. My buddy Remington and a few other guys, and I'm not talking bad, but Remington's probably 53, somewhere like that, and he does
Bring them
this
on.
on a regular basis, and just crazy amounts of stuff. He's done 100-mile hikes and stuff like that. That's not me, but this is up in Manhattan, Kansas. It's called the Extreme Breakup Adventure Race. 6 or 12-hour race. You get teams, and you have to bring your team along. That kind of thing. So they tip their canoe over one year. They have all these different things going on, but it would be a fun one. So it's called the Adventure Race. We'll look that up and find out more about it.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to get where I want to do it now, and I know I can. It's just now getting the time and the money, and because this stuff, getting fit's expensive. I mean, wholeheartedly, it's a commitment, and so it's a
Yeah.
lifestyle, and you start understanding and connecting all the dots, and you're like, oh, cool, that's how I want to live. I don't want to be fat and can't damn bend over and tie my shoes and sit on the couch all day. So we never want to downgrade anybody
Sure.
for what they're doing in life. But man, if we can just keep showing that you can keep moving and it doesn't matter. And some people are like, dude, I'm not in the gym, and I totally 100,000% get that. So we're gonna take this show outside for a while. We're how it kind of started, just I was pounding pavement, doing push-ups. I'm gonna kind of go back to that, and I think it's as good a way to be healthy as anything. So
Good.
I'm not gonna quit the gym by any means, but I'm definitely drastically adjusting. So we'll have a little real time, but the stuff I learned in that personal trainer course, if the gym is all that we do, we're going to be all right. But there's so much more, that's such little stuff that we can be doing that's going to be so much better for our body in our 60s and 70s and 80s and hopefully 90s. And that's the stuff that I want to start doing. Like if somebody wants to train, have a personal trainer and be like, I want big biceps. Cool. We'll get you some big biceps. Like, you know what I mean? Like wholeheartedly. But it's like, I want to be able to wrestle with my grandkids. Like I don't want to pick them up. I don't want to push them in a stroller. I want to wrestle.
Yeah.
So I just want to shift the mindset because we think we want to do that stuff, and it goes back to one of our old talks a long time ago about self-defense and dudes thinking they can arm their house, but they couldn't get their fat ass up on an elevated position with all their gear if they were getting shot at. Like, I see red. Okay, cool. So when you train, do you see red? Because we're always going to resort to our training. I got pissed off at a guy today, and it was acceptable, and I didn't exude madness, but I went to my training and I went very, very, very polite, but like, I'm fucking slicing you with my words right now, And it's like, well, that's my training. That's what I go back to. And so it's like all the healing I've done, I haven't healed at all yet, but like I also don't get mad and blow up in public, so that's good. But there's just all these little things we can be doing. We can shift some gears. The Parsons crew, or Southeast Kansas people, I saw at Kendall Manners is going to try to get some stair workouts going for us at Marble Park. So as that goes, guys in this local area, let's get there, and obviously bring your kids and your gals to something like that too. We want to make community stuff. This little dude reset group is to inspire you, to inspire your little own family and your own community and your own workout group and all of this stuff. We come in here to go, yep, life's crazy, life's busy, I'm getting my ass kicked, but you know what, I'm going to keep going. And then you take that energy and motivation, and then you take that with your instilled discipline into your own life, and then you affect that pool. And then somebody sees you, and they keep seeing you, and they keep seeing you, and they keep seeing you, and now they start doing it. And you may never know it. They may never say anything to you. You may never know their name. But if you keep showing up and keep doing the thing, somebody's always watching you. And we're always worried about somebody watching us, right? Am I doing good? Do I look good? Does my truck look good? Is my truck new enough? Does that matter? Does that matter at all? No, not one bit, right? But we're always being watched. We're always watching somebody. Let's do the right thing. Let's lead by example, right? That's my whole premise of this. And it's not even for us. For our kids, so our kids can see we're not chumps. We're not alcoholics. We're not fat asses. We're not drug addicts. You know, we don't beat our wives. We don't cuss. We don't scream. Like, we go to church. We tip the waitresses. We're nice to the drive-through people. Like, those are the men that we want to be. Those are the examples we want to set. So if we're not doing that stuff and we can't drink water and we can't give up a few bad habits, check out. I'm done talking to you. Like, we got to move forward. If we spend 3 years and then we go back to the third conversation on water and food and sugars and alcohol, are we learning anything? Are we doing anything? Or are we just going to keep spinning our wheels, right? I've said my life is like I can see it, and it's right on top of that 12-foot ledge that's covered in wet, nasty, slippery mud. That's been my life, and I'm not doing it anymore. So if you're still clawing at the bottom of the hill, I got you, but I'm on top of the hill. You know, we got to move forward. We're doing it collectively, and we're going to do it individually. So that's where my motivation is going into this, coming out of this winter. Time changes next week. Like, the excuses, we put them on the curb because it's time now. Like, winter's over. We always want to say that, and we do. We need to slow down. We need to. My wife has all these hippie chick words for wintertime, and it's like, I get it. Let me sleep for a week, and then we'll get back after it, you know. So, but that's where we're at, you know. So, if you're not walking 20 minutes a day, right? Like, you got to do something. And if you're doing all that stuff, which if you are, we see it, and it's awesome. But like, start taking your kids, start volunteering at a home or a church or something, or a guy at work that you see, which there's been some really good networking with guys that are coming in, and I think that's really cool, and that's what it's about. But like, be the example, right? Like, the Sunday thing at the running the hill sprints on Sunday at the dam, it's like, I wanted people to go out there so we can do it and have fun, right? But people are literally scared of that. And it's like, okay, well, do we need to bring a therapist out there and then run the hill? Because we can do that, right? And that goes back to what this group is about. Why don't we do the good thing? Why don't we do the hard thing? Why do we have excuses until the 11th hour and then do something about half-ass of what we know we could do it at 100%, right? Like, I still do that. Why do we still do that? You know, like, why don't we put the time into it to do something as good as it can freaking be? You know, and ultimately, that's what I'm trying to do with my mind and my body, because I do want to live healthy and I do want to do it for a long time. But it's like we miss it in all these other little aspects of life, you know? How? Why? What is that? And so there's some psychology to it. Maybe we do need somebody to come out there and give us some therapy so we can make sense of that run. Like, the reason I go out there and do it and what I get to shake loose, it's not healthy, but it's a good place to let it out, so to speak, you know? Like, who's in that boat, right? Like, just right on that edge of like sanity and not, you know, like, maybe not insanity, but maybe like borderline like crazy, you know? So there is a mental game to this, and that's where discipline, like, you can't be motivated and all kumbaya all the time. Sometimes you just got to have your own pistol whip and just yak yourself in the back of the head one time to keep going, you know?
Did you talk about insanity? I mean, Travis Payne's on here said, we're getting into pickleball, dog. He says, seriously, I work from home and it's like every day's Groundhog Day. I need friends, LOL. Oh, man,
We're saying the same thing.
I've been
I'm
at
the
home
same
now.
way.
Been at home 114 days at this point. Yeah. Yep. I get it for sure. My kiddos the other day, Jude said, hey, Dad, I'm going to go work out. Is that cool with you? He said, can I take these weights? And I said, yeah, man, that's great. And he came back up and he said, can I go hit the treadmill? I said, yeah, what are you doing? I just want to get stronger. And I've said that for a long time, and I don't want my kids to think that I'm forcing them to work out, you know. But we got baseball season coming up. We wrapped up basketball. We got all these things going on. And if he wants to get thicker than he is, that's great that he wants to do that. And it's not even about being thicker and more muscular, but the mental thing that he'll get also is great, you know. So Yeah, they do see it.
Get them boys a pull-up bar.
Yeah.
That age, you teach them how to do pull-ups, they'll be strong the rest of their life.
Yeah.
My
Good point.
grandpa did, man, when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. He's like, you gotta do pull-ups, you gotta do pull-ups, you gotta do pull-ups, you gotta do pull-ups. And you look at any strength, any real human strength composition, and they're gonna say a wide grip back pull-up. That's real strength. That's if you can't pull yourself up, how strong are you?
I know that that's still my weakness. I talked about it the other day. So Kendall just commented he's going to try to nail down an evening in a week, and he'll let us know soon for those stairs. So that's good. Sam, how about this weather coming up the next 4 days? It's
Yeah, did
perfect.
the wind blow at 76 miles an hour today to get
Oh, it
that
did.
warm air?
Out the south. I had to drive today. It wasn't good. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, but I'm still
So
excited about 67 degrees, even right now outside.
yeah, I know. I'm sitting in here in my little private office, but yeah. So I'd say the crews with bicycles. Let's start learning and disseminating some bicycle information because we know we have solid gym and weightlifting resistance training knowledge. Michael Shepard is an absolute rock wealth of knowledge. I am now qualified, and I can put you on a rehab plan, a fix your shoulder plan, my low back hurts plan. Like, holler at me. Like, I went through a lot of pains, and I carry pains like we all do, but I don't have them like I used to. And it's a very unique thing to like really work through the pain. And anyway, I'm just trying to think of how we can truly like what men can not keep saying men and stuff, dudes, what dudes can take away from these these little blips, you know. And if they only
Sure.
catch 4 minutes here, 3 minutes there, like if we're kind of being like, hey, this is what we're doing, or homeboy said this or whatever, it's like this is what it's about. It's about bettering ourselves. It's about that repetitive knowledge, breaking that cycle, you know, like had a guy, two guys that are in the group that don't know each other that work out at the gym in Parsons. One guy reached out to the other one. They saw each other in the gym. Was like, "Yeah, I see you in the Do Reset, man. What's up?" You know. And so they bantered back and forth. Both got to talk a little smack on me for a second, and then now they know each other.
Sure.
That's what this is, right? And it doesn't have to come through this group, but like you go to your Andover, or Augusta, or whatever YMCA, like if you go there and you don't miss, people are going to see that. Dudes are going to see that, right? Like, man, I've been seeing you here for like 2 years, dude. What you up to? And you're like, I'm keeping my weight and my blood pressure right, my friend. I got young boys, you know, or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
so it's just about consistency, and we want to talk about this motivation, but it's like motivation's not even in my world anymore. Now it's like it's I'm past it, even a lifestyle change, you know? Like, I don't know. I want everybody to feel good because I know what feels like feeling, you know, being sick and tired of being sick and tired, like feeling like doo-doo breath. Like I know what that feels like. And when you can overcome that, it's lights out, man. Like I promise. And this is like trust me, you know, but like you don't know if you don't know. And so if you don't know and somebody's telling you that it's the same age or give or take, and it's like we fight inflammation, you get your hormones right, and then all of a sudden you're sleeping better, you're laying with your wife better. Like there's things that can start to transpire in a man's life that he will not want to revert back to things that he knows aren't good for him.
Sure.
He won't have a question about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we're all in these different phases and stages, and not discounting what you're saying, but I looked at myself the other day and I was like, man, I know I have gained weight. And then if I look at my goal, it is actually to gain weight. So I also have to be okay with that because it's not in the right places yet. But I don't think it's just inflammation. I think I'm carrying a lot of water weight, but I'm also drinking a lot of water. I'm getting to the gym 4 days a week. I told you my schedule before was all jacked up, but I've been doing it consistently 4 days a week, about 3 weeks now since I dropped that whole calendar thing. But that makes me actually want to go more. So I've been catching some Sundays and showing up there, taking the kids when it makes sense. And so that's been good. But yeah, whatever stage you're at, again, if you don't have a goal, you'll never get there. So
And that's what I said. And it's like, set that realistic goal, but then also set one that's so far fetched you don't even believe it. But set it and see. You know, like me and I could rap back from the last 3-4 years, and I could say, I'm going to do this, like check, check, check. It's all happening. Like
yeah.
it's all happening.
What's the one thing I've never done that I always say I'm going to do, Sam? And you'll get this if you think about it. I'm like, I gotta do. I never do it. Taxes. God,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
taxes.
Sorry.
It's like a
I got my
limiting factor.
taxes done. I'm only 6 years behind.
I do mine every 5, whether I need to or not. So
You don't need to. We've proven that.
it's all done. It's all handed off, and I hate it. But anyway,
So I'm gonna go back to the group back so we can make sure the message is getting out. If you feel like you're carrying extra weight and you don't want to do a whole bunch, but you're like, I want to improve what you consume, like what you eat, you can make drastic changes, and that will lead to a little bit more body movement. And so there's a lot of things that I can break down, but it's just not worth it, honestly, at this level. But if you're like, man, I'm into this, just reach out. I promise you, just reach out. I had a guy reach out last week, and I put a fair amount of effort into it, not a lot, because I've kind of done this kind of thing before, similar. And so it's like, I'll give you the bait, and if you bite it, like, okay, cool, let's go for a ride. And so him and I had a good little chat. He's familiar. There again, we're all familiar. Sometimes we just need that little fine tuning, that little adjustment. And it's like, once you understand what it takes, then it's just discipline. It's just consistency and discipline. And so if you're older, you're in some pain or whatever, you do have some injuries, like we can still do some things. And I'm not just going to put you through a Marine Corps boot camp. I'm over all of that super crazy intensity stuff. Like if you want to get there, we're going to get you there. But like, we're not going to start you there. So it's really, 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 really easy, really, really, really simple. And it's really an opportunistic time. So if there's anybody that catches this, just reach out and we're going to get you healthy. I see a lot of men that aren't healthy, and a lot of men that think maybe they're going to be all right or they are all right, and they're not. And there's a word for that. There's one before acceptance, but the dudes that just accept it, those are the ones that now at that point you're like, oh, whatever. It is what it is. You are now on your decline to your death because your brain has made a switch. You have collectively given up, and now you're going to ride it out. And so don't let yourself get to that point. If you have, you can switch, because we can switch the brain. But if you haven't gotten there, but you're kind of feeling like that, like really sincerely reach out. Like there's times in my life I'm like, I'm doing everything I can, and it's like I was doing everything I could, but there was everything that I didn't know else I should be doing. And so this stuff is simple, and if you're serious to a better life, you'll be serious about having a little bit of discipline. And so that's what we touched on last week too, and a lot of people hit me up on this, which it always does. It's always the heaviest, scariest stuff that people respond to. And it was like, Jared, I don't know if you caught it or watched it. You were a little postponed last week, but I just said, what's it going to take? A heart attack, a freaking suicide attempt, a buddy, an aunt, an uncle, somebody in the circle to absolutely have a catastrophic event for us to realize? Like, are you gonna yourself have to have a heart attack to realize that's what's getting ready to happen? Because you're either fighting disease or you're feeding it. There's no in between. There's no in between. And so all that stuff is not necessarily reversible, but here's the deal. I know people that chain smoke ciggies. I'm talking about lit one on fire from the second they got up at 4 a.m. to 11 at night, chain smoking ciggies. And they weren't alcoholics, but they drank and they didn't eat real well. And they're still alive in their 80s on oxygen. So like, if you just want to be alive and just live inside your head and have a great time, like that's a life. You can do that. It's not great, but like you can do that. It's the heart attacks that get us. It's the heart disease that slows us down. So we have to understand that stuff and how to combat that stuff. And a little bit of high intensity exercise, a little bit of cardio, which is walking. Guys, walking means 10 minutes in one direction and turn around and walk back 10 minutes. If you can't do that because you get bored, or you need to look at your phone, or you need to pack a lunch or something, we need to adjust that. And if you don't want to do that, everywhere you shop, park in the furthest parking spot from the door. Start doing that. Like the little things start adding up, and that's how we start winning stuff. Remember those lines about I may have lost that battle, but I'm not going to lose the war kind of thing. Like we're all going to lose battles. We're all going to have insane struggles. We're all going to get kicked in the nuts. We're all going to get drugged. It's part of it, right? And if you don't, you're either lying or you're living in some crazy cool world. You better holler at your boy. But that's just not reality, right? And so all of us have that stuff, no matter what. But we have to decide who we want to be. What do we want our lives to look like? What do we want our future to look like? What is our legacy that we want to leave? Because they're not going to remember that you always had new pickup trucks. They're not going to remember the whatevers, right? They're going to remember, were you there? They're going to remember your smell and how you made them feel. That's it. That's all. Think about it. Think about your long lost grandparents or whoever. You know what I mean? Just for a second, like, what do you remember? Like what they sounded like, what they smelled like, and how they made you feel, right? And so that's what we are creating, and that's the legacy that we are giving unknowingly right now. Like kids talk about us when we're not around. We talked about the adults when they weren't around. What do you want these little punks, little ragheads to say about you, right? Like, he's a dick, man, but he's really cool. You know, like, oh, Pap's firm, but he's fair. Or like some of us, or potentially some of us, like, they want to murder their father figure, you know, like some do murder their father figures, right? Like, there's not always good examples out there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes these kids don't even have a male to look up to, you know? And so it's like, what we're doing is more than who we are. We have to know that, right? And so, like, we don't want to walk around nasty looking and out of shape and lethargic and whatever, right? Like, all of us want to look good. We all want to feel good. We all want to have a little bit of self-pride. And that's what Dude Reset is. And the only reason I keep going back to this, I know people that watch this. I know people that reach out to me, and they reach out in this timid yearning for help. You know how I know that? Because I was that guy. I reached out to people I knew, people I didn't know. And I was like, I'm trying to change my life. I'm learning, right? And so I wouldn't be doing the same talk if I wasn't getting the same feedback. Right? Sure. And so, like, reach out to me. Like, I don't judge at all.
Yeah.
And I, like, legitimately have access to true therapists that can get you plugged in for some real help. And that's a real thing.
Can I ask two things, Sam? On your ideal candidate, you talked about him a little bit. Like, number one, a willingness. They want to be ready to change their shape or their weight and their diet, those kind of things. We're at the end of the month now, and I mean, it takes time. Is this something where you want somebody to commit to something? Just anybody reach out? Do you want 3 or 4 or 5 people, or like just reach out? That's the main thing right now, right? Is anybody who wants to make a change,
reach out. Yeah, anybody reach out. Well, I'm not looking for no commitments. I know how much information to give you for where you're at in life.
Okay, good.
I know what people tell me to what they're doing and what they're doing on their own.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's part of being 45, right? Like I've been down the road. I've sold things. I worked with the public. Like I've worked with people younger than me, older than me. I've worked with really good bosses and not good bosses. You know, like I've had the whole gamut. And so like this,
sure,
that's what this is for. It's like, I've already seen through all your bullshit. There ain't no bullshit that I haven't seen. Like, Like, cut it out. The man in the mirror needs to get healthy.
Yep.
I've already been the man in the mirror, and I'm still my own man in the mirror. So, like, and we have to do it together. We can't, as men, that's the other thing we have to understand. We can't, you're not going to do anything in isolation, right? Like, it just doesn't work like that. You got fat in isolation. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
we gotta, you gotta do the Stallone and over the top and turn the hat around. It's a switch. Like, you have to hit your, it doesn't have to be your bottom, but it typically does. It becomes that, but like, you
Becomes
have
about
to
you.
hit your point of no return. Like, I am absolutely done with my own shit. And you
Yeah.
can't say that, and like, you're probably fine, or you
Still
don't know you're
cozy.
not fine.
Still
Yeah.
cozy.
And so if you don't know that, like, don't waste my time, you know? But if you're like, I'm absolutely tired of this. What is it, you know? And I'll motivate you. We'll work, do, you don't even understand. You know why? Because nobody's reached out. And so, like, nobody knows. This is a public forum, so to speak, right? Like, you know me on a personal level. I will get pleasantly in your business. You know what I mean? That goes back to resiliency training I've had, yoga training I've had. I've worked with disabled veterans. I've worked with TBI people. Like I understand some things, you know, like I've got training and so
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not just coming at you from just, you know, look at me.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, it's a bigger thing. And so for the guys in a struggle, even though you're doing the thing, reach out. Like,
Yeah.
and the ones that reach out, they know, and they're like, oh man, cool, thanks, I appreciate it. Like, that's so much easier to talk about now, because sometimes we hold stuff in that it's just our complex, right? And like to say it out loud twists us up inside. It like,
Yeah.
you know, like you're lying to yourself or somebody else or whatever it is, and it's like you tell somebody like, and they just go like, oh cool, or not cool. They say like, yeah, I understand. That's a very unfortunate whatever. And then like, now you've said it and they've responded and it's your whole entire world. They're just like, whatever.
Disregarded.
Yeah. And it's like, well, damn. And then you start realizing, you start saying that stuff out loud and you say it over and over, you know, and it's like, now I can talk about things now that if I put them in an audible sentence 5 years ago to 20 years ago, I would sweat, I would have anxiety, and I'd want to throw up. And I couldn't talk about it. I physically wouldn't talk about things. And now I'm like, yeah, I got my head stomped in. The police report said multiple kicks to the head. That would make me throw up, Jared, for years. To think about it. Now I'm just like, it sucked, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, let's move on. Because as soon as you let your demons out and you realize like they were just yours, they're nobody else's, and now they're out, and nobody looks at you different, and all of a sudden like, oh, okay, that's when you can start healing.
Yeah.
But if we don't know that that's how that machine moves, we'll just sit in isolation and cover it up, or just sit in a turmoil, you know. And we all have our shit. And you just got to get it out there and realize like we all have shit.
Yeah, I want to share a podcast. Let me jump in here. So Rob Dial, Dial, the Mindset Mentor, and I've probably shared him before, but 4 podcasts a week the dude cranks out, that kind of thing. Topics all over the place. But this one was how your brain changes what you see. And it just simply talked about like reality is not reality and perception is not reality. We break things down way before we even are having a full, complete thought. Listen to that one today while Jessica and I were driving. It was a great one. So I threw it in the chat there that you guys check that out. Mindset Mentor with Rob Dial on Spotify. So all sorts of brain stuff. It's good.
I'm hoping the bicycle riding, I can do some podcast listening.
Yeah.
Because I just don't have, I mean, there again, it's priorities, but in my day, how with my day set up, I don't have time because I can't listen to this stuff in 15-minute increments and hold on to it.
Yeah.
If it's long, I have to listen to and listen to it in a lineage so the story builds in my head, because if not, it comes in and then it goes out.
Yeah, going a
It's
9
like,
mile walk.
I love it. That's the
Yeah.
greatest thing in the world to do,
What do you listen to while you're working out?
In the gym, heavy metal,
Heavy metal? Something you
divorced
already
dad
know?
rock. Yeah,
Yeah,
same shit, same, you
yeah.
know.
I
I
can't
used
listen
to like
to
really
tandem.
get into the song and like, like make it for the actual lift, where now it's just like the only time I'll switch a song is if it sucks and I'm in between sets. Like other than that, it's just playing and I'm just in there doing it. And I have to listen to hard rock because I've tried different kinds of workout music and some hip hop and some reggae and stuff, and it just doesn't have that undertone that I need. So a lot of
Yeah,
people can listen to hip hop, and hip hop's got some really pretty good motivationally kind of in your face stuff, and I like it, but I haven't found enough of it consistent to
yeah.
listen to more than a little bit.
I can, Spotify knows me well enough. I can type in like 90s dad rock music workout and it will make us a nice Spotify list, but you're still going to be skipping through some stuff till you clean it up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the teenage girls now, they call it divorced dad rock.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
got teenage girls, and that's what they call it when they're working out of school, divorced dad rock. I'm like, oh, sweet, that's my music.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Well, man, it's been awesome. I'm not wrapping it up, but we went over your ideal client, what that looks like, um, what we got going on with our regularness. The Murph Challenge is coming up. We're going to do that Memorial Day, May 25th, but we might set a group date. Kendall might give us a date. You're still running hill sprints on Sundays?
When the weather's good, yeah. I mean, I'm not doing when it's cold or rainy or crazy.
Sure. T-Pain said that Bobby Wendell's his cousin. Maybe we could have Bobby on here sometime. He also mentioned the beef liver supplement. So I haven't tried that yet. Have you checked out any beef?
No, I switched gears because my tummy's being all weird. And I
I
know
get
Bobby, and I was going to go to Stillwater and buy my bike, but I can't. I'm not driving 3 hours to go to a bike shop. Like that's just
it. No.
that's just
Yeah.
what it boils down to. Like I've been in his shop 3 times to do what I did today over the last 11 years. Like
Yeah.
this has been a
Couldn't
long
commit.
time
Couldn't do
coming.
it with them. Yeah.
Can't
The
can't
adventure,
travel can't travel with a bicycle when you live out of a backpack unless you're on a bicycle.
the adventure race, we mentioned that too. So I don't really have anything else. I'm finally doing all my taxes. We played some real estate games this week. Having too many options in life sucks.
Yep.
God, like, you know me, I moved out here to go a direction and I said I'll figure it out when I'm there, and we did. It's been more than 8 years that we're out here now. But when you're given more options and more directions, this discontentment and hurry up and wait phase is not good for me. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm ready to be done and be going. So hopefully there'll be something exciting coming out of us soon. See what that looks like. And I liked what you said, Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. I think my end is time freedom. I don't like anybody telling me I can't be available for my kids or my wife or whatever. I'll figure out the money thing, but I'll be available for them first before anything else. So I needed to hear that and write that down. So that was good. Are you doing any journaling or any stuff in your planner at all?
Bro, I
Yeah.
don't write shit down. I wish I could. I just don't. I don't even write stuff down when I study.
Yeah.
I'm just, that's my whole life, and I try to do it. And there again, when I do, some pretty profound shit comes out. Like I did some writing. No, for real. I did some
Yeah.
writing exercises with the what do you call it? Integration from the Ibogaine
Yeah.
treatment. Afterward, you meet weekly, kind of like this kind of stuff, big group meeting, and at the end, this dude that leads it, he was not old, he's a Navy SEAL guy, and he started this writing exercise, and I don't even remember how to explain how to do it, but it's just ad lib, just freehand, just letting it rip. And man, I tell you what, there's some healing that comes out of that without even knowing it. And you don't even write the bad stuff down. You just let your brain free flow. And there
Sure.
again, getting it out, just get it out. And so there's a line that I reference a lot, and it's a very unique space to live in. But in one of my writings, I wrote after my Ibogaine journey that I feel the pain and the freedom of a dead turtle on the side of the road. And that's any living thing, but it was turtle season at the time
Sure.
I was doing that, when you see all the dead turtles on the road. And it's like, I really do. I feel them when they get hit. I feel that pain of death, but I also feel the crossover of death and then the other side of the freedom. Bro, it's a really unique place to live, like genuinely. And so, yeah, when I do journal, I got a lot in there, and it does come out in some very, very unique ways. And so it's on my list. It's on my list of things I should do, but
Mm-hmm. Quitting alcohol's on my list of things, so I needed to hear that today. Thanks for telling me and everybody else. Like, all I keep doing is picking up this prisoner on the side of the road and hauling her around with me, that kind of thing.
it's a
So
very unique thing, man. Yeah, it's and I'll be there for any level of that journey, and I can get you any level of professional assistance on that journey as well. I've been
sure.
now alcohol free for, well, the end of this year will be 8 years, so we'll call it 7.5 years. And I think in that 7.5 years, if you want to call it 2 times I fell off the bandwagon for two days in a row, and it wasn't like I went on a bender like, "God," I was hitting on a new chick and I ended up marrying her, so we needed to drink some wine. And that was one of the 2 days. And then before that was a few months before that when I was single, and I was like, well, I remember this guy, and I
Yeah.
went vodka up, and I was like, oh, I ain't gonna be that guy. And that was it. That was literally
Yeah.
it. I,
That's
I, I
good.
went back to my training. I was single. I was divorced. I was scared. What do you do? That was fun, that at
Yeah.
that time in life, and I did, and I didn't do nothing crazy or dumb. I was just like, I don't like it,
And choose
and that
any
was
of
it.
those three words, where you were single, you were divorced, or you were scared. Like, how many people have a social drink because they think they need one in their hand?
Yeah,
How many people, atmosphere, mine or anyone else's might be because the people around you are doing the same thing. So I don't know. Letting loose of that sometimes is good. And again, I had, 15, 20 days a couple times just in a row, and you feel differently within a week, that kind of thing. So even as I look at I know I have water weight on right now, but I have beer weight on too, alcohol weight on for
for
sure. So
sure.
just got to figure out what's next with that.
Those liquid empty calories is what gets us.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
unnecessary calories, and they're the hard ones to get rid of. To be honest, we think it's nothing because it's liquid, but once it goes in the body, it ain't liquid no more.
Well, and I could say, alcohol is not a problem for me. I still get up, go to work every day, that kind of thing. Then you don't have a job. So it's like, are you sure you're going to work? Yeah, no, you're not. If you start asking AI, and you know this already, what it does to your body negatively, that is a counterproductive piece to the working out and the diet and everything else. It's the piece that comes back and goes, yeah, that's a major factor for you. Same as smoking, like you talked about, anything else. So it's good just to hear it again. And we all talk about that. I mean, you talk about the newest truck, I think it's me. You talk about alcohol, I think it's me. It's like we're sitting in church and listening to a sermon. We always think it's ourselves, but that is ourselves reflecting upon it, going, yeah, why are you still making that fuck up? Why are you still doing that? You're 43 years old. Why are you still doing that? Why are you still wasting your money on those two things? Let's just choose those two. And it is what it is. So it's time for changes on all that stuff, that kind of thing. It's good to hear.
Yeah, that's what this stuff's for. I had a really clever statement, but it went away. So if it comes back, I'm going to type it in the chat. But I got to put I think I got everything. I need to look on YouTube, but I got to get these on YouTube. But we're at week 7 now, man, number 7. So it's working. The amount of feedback that I get privately, which I completely understand, guys, there's public versions and then there's like private versions. And I appreciate it and I respect it more than anything. But the amount of feedback that I get after these videos is, dude, it's really neat. And we're going to keep doing it. And if we can get better, cool. And if this is
Sure.
where we're at, this is where we're at. But like, I mean, I can think about sitting in my kitchen table at the Florida house 3 years ago in dead of winter in February, and you and I were talking about this right now. And think of everything you've been through and now everything I've been through to where we are to sit here tonight. So we're 100% on all of our days.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, and we're not special in any way. We're just somebody that's doing it, and everybody else is welcome to attend and join. I mean, other guys are talking about it as well. What should this ever become? We want to have guests on, but then when you and I think about it, it's like, I don't know, who do we know? Like, we haven't reached out to anybody and asked them, and
I've
maybe
got a
it's
couple on the hook. I just haven't. I'm just
good.
not at the point to have the conversations yet. And then I've reached out to another couple dudes that they're busy too. But like one dude, he wrecked a little race car and blowed his back all out, and he was laid up for, quite a while. But like, what's that do to you? Like, well, now I'm not walking. Now I'm not jogging. Now I'm not playing with my kids. Now I'm sitting down. Now I'm sitting down and drinking beer. Now I'm sitting down and drinking beer in the shop 6 hours every night because I can't go inside because my back hurts. It's like, so it's like the snowball thing happens to us and we don't even know it's happening.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the scary part. Is sometimes we don't even know this stuff is happening.
So this adventure race, oh man, I got to see. It was in March. I'm going to find out about that because Remington would love to come talk to us and just tell us like, what do you do to train? Because we don't have any idea.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
if all we do is hear from an expert about bicycling, hear from an expert about adventure races, like that's the kind of education and content that we want to tune into. You and I can get together sometime. I'd love to know how many people go back and view this later because I see it later in some of the pop-ups, the notifications. Like if you don't comment, you're not going to see when other people comment. So jump over there on the sideline, just do
Hit
roll
a
call,
dot.
say you're here or
Yeah. Just
something.
hit a dot or something, just, and
Yeah.
we're done because because I know who's watching it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's sign out, man. We made it an hour on the night we didn't know about, and there again, I had to get a little heavy, and sometimes that's what it is. But when you resonate, like that's what this is for. And so like when I'm talking, you think I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me, right? But like you hear it, it's like he's talking to me, and then this other dude's like, God damn, has he been watching me? Like, has he got a hidden camera on me this week? It's like, no, dudes, this is us.
It's all
This
of
is
us.
our
Yeah.
lives. This is what it is. And if we understand we can change it individually to the collective, and then we can grow in that collective better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
lights out, man.
The only other thing I'm gonna say is everybody else go add stuff to the group too. I mean, I love the guys that are adding stuff. When you got something you're doing that you like, if you want somebody to reply, if you got a question, go put it in there. Reach out to Sam personally, ask him some questions. Let's see if we can find him some ideal candidates to go test some of this stuff out. It's gonna be fun. That's all I
Yep.
got,
Yeah.
Sam. Thanks,
All
buddy.
right, dudes. Be good. Be good at it, man. Later.
Bye.